Network. I greet everybody upon this evening. You know what I mean? This here is another Let's Talk About It video. Another Let's Talk About It video. You know my disclaimer. I'm not a pastor, preacher. I don't hold any type of office in the church. So please do not lay claims of those titles on me. We're not here to violate any type of community guidelines, any type of copyright infringement, or any type of privacy guidelines at all. Shout out to everybody who's going to join us live now, those who are going to catch it in the middle, and those who are going to catch it when it uploads to YouTube. You know what I mean? This is a questions and answer video. I know a lot of the times, when we have regular topics and whatnot, people tend to have questions to ask. When we have, basic topics, they ask questions that's off topic. So this is why, one of the reasons why I have these videos, questions and answers, whereas though whatever questions folks may have in their mind, they can ask it, right here, instead of waiting until we have like a video on a specific topic, but then they try to ask a question that's off topic, so everybody out there, if you got your questions, ask them now. Don't wait till we have another video on, I don't know, health and wellness, then you want to ask about something else. Okay? Also, shout out to the haters. You said, isn't TOG currently live? TOG live? TOG is live right now? Let me check it out. TOG is live. Listen, I didn't know. Long day. Long day for me. They're saying that TOG is live right now. What today is? Today is Thursday. Why would they be live on YouTube? I ain't get no notification about the TOG being live on YouTube. Anybody out there, is the TOG live? That's what I was told on Mr. Ham's channel. What? Nah. TOG is not live. Let me double check right now. Let me go to the main outlet. I'm checking it out right now. It's loading up. I don't know what's going on with their channel. Double checking right now for you. TOG is not live. Who said it? Nah, that's not true. TOG don't go live on YouTube on Thursdays unless it's like the end of the year service or something with a convocation. But TOG is not live right now. They playing an old broadcast, 1686 on their main channel. So TOG is not live, YouTube. So that's incorrect information. Now, if they're talking about Zoom, possibly, but YouTube, no. Maybe he was talking about Zoom. Maybe that's what it was on Thursday nights, But YouTube, no. All right, let's get back to it. Where we at? What's up to Tiffany? Shout out to you. What's up to Christmas fan? Drago. What up, Drago? What's up to Tasha? Shout out to you. What's up to Anita Thompson? Linda. Thema. He says, greetings, everyone. Blessing to each one of you. Appreciate that. G Money says, I'm not sure if they're... What up, G Money says, I'm not sure if they're live or not. It never hit my feed. No, TOG is not live on YouTube. No, they're not. TOG is not live on YouTube. That might be Zoom. Zoom, that is. Zoom, I believe. What's up to Mercy Carr? Shout out to you. You says they are. I'm looking at it now. Dan is preaching. TOG is not live on YouTube. What are you talking about? You talking about Zoom. Zoom. Yo, y'all funny. Y'all funny. Y'all gotta specify. Y'all have to. You said a Zoom link on the website is no longer active. Well, y'all gotta specify when y'all say they're live. It's either Zoom, YouTube, their main channel. Listen, this is their main channel right here. When it first hits, this channel, this website right here, it hits first before it hits YouTube. This is it right here. This is the old broadcast. This hits first before it hits YouTube. So again, they're not live. You know, I don't know what's going on. Somebody told y'all that TOG was live. You know. All right, let's get to this questions and answers, man. You know. Y'all, it's funny. Mercy Car, you funny. Shout out to Mercy Car, you know. Good people. You know, y'all throwing me off course a little bit. Where we at? What's up to Adriana Hart? Shout out to you. You said you're looking at it now. Minister Dan is preaching. We'll double check this again, man. We double checking something right now. Okay. Yep. So on the Zoom it says there is no service. There is no service at this link. So I don't know what they're talking about, man. I don't know. All right, let's just get back to this Q&A. What's up with David B? Shout out to you. Oh, G Money says I think it's from someone else's who posted TOG Live for April the 10th. Oh, one of those YouTubers. Oh, one of those YouTubers. They throwing the people off course. You know? Well, the main outlet is First Church Truth of God Broadcast YouTube. What's up to Anthony Beecham? Shout out to you. Hope all is well. Appreciate that. At Anthony Beecham. Yeah, man, I'm gonna get to your comment in a bit. What's up to Dev? Shout out to you, aka PDD, Shelly House, Corner B, Paulette, Johnny Howard. Anthony Beecham says, you heard about the 6 people who died in the helicopter crashes by the Hudson River today. Nah, I've seen a little part of it, but, you know, I didn't really get into it. Helicopter crash in the Hudson River, 6 people killed. Wow. 6 people killed after helicopter crash into the Hudson River. Pilot and a family with 3 children who are believed to have been Spanish tourists were killed on board aircraft. This is why I don't like helicopters or airplanes. Never probably will go in one. You know? That's crazy. Tourists sightseeing and going on helicopter rides and seeing New York. I ain't going to no helicopter. I ain't going to no blimp. I ain't going to no hot air balloon. I'm not skydiving. I'm not bungee jumping. You understand that? You won't catch me skydiving. No way. You won't catch me, what do they call that, snorkeling or playing with dolphins. I don't do none of that. You know? If I go to what is that, Disney World or something like that, or one of them amusement parks, whatever they call them, you know? I'm walking around. Let me just get a funnel cake and that's it. I don't want to get on no rides, nothing. Unless they got a basketball rim out there. You know, I play around with the basketball or the football. I ain't doing nothing crazy like that. No way. You hear me? Folks want to go skydiving. Help yourself. I ain't doing none of that. You know? Or skiing. I know some people like, what is that? Hiking or camping. What do I look like going to camping in the woods of Carolina? You know what I mean? And spending the night in the woods in the dark. What do I look like? You know what I mean? Listen, I know holiness is against having firearm, but I'm out there in the woods spending the night. Whew. Lord forgive me, I need something. I need something. Some bear pop out. Coyote pop out. That's why I don't do that stuff. No way. They got bears and wolves and coyotes out there. What I look like? You understand? Oh, I'm holy. Ain't nothing gonna happen to me. Yes, I'm sanctified. I'm gonna be sanctified right in this place, right here. You know what I mean? Right here. You know? Oh yeah, it's coyotes out here. It sure is. You know, it's bears out here too. You know? All right? So folks out there, if you want to go camping out there in the woods, go ahead. Go right ahead. You know what I mean? You said scary cat. I'll be a scary cat. I'll be right here. You understand? Right here in front of the laptop. You understand? I'll be right here in front of the laptop. I ain't got to worry about no bears or nothing like that. You know? In fact, I watch it on the laptop. Bear attacks, such and such. Wild dogs attacking impala. You know? Or a possum fighting a rat. I can watch it right here. Look at this guy. He want to come in and biblically debate. Look at this guy. He don't understand the purpose. You can tell he's a fool. He said holiness is not against owning a firearm if you're using it for hunting. I wasn't talking about hunting. You're the fool. Look at this guy. He want to come in here and debate. Do you just not hear what I just said? You can't be that dumb. I just said if I'm out there camping at night, spending the night. Did you not hear? I ain't gonna be hunting. I ain't hunting nothing if I'm camping at night. You understand? What I'm look like? Oh man, I'm going to sleep in a tent in the woods. I'm definitely, listen, I'm gonna have me something. It ain't gonna be for no hunting. That's why I don't do those things. You know what I mean? I don't do those things. Man want to come in here and debate, trying to say something, debate it. Man, he got a debating spirit, man. This man just got a debating spirit. My shadow behind me. If you could debate your shadow, as I always say, at Mr. Peter, you would debate your shadow like right now, how I'm doing right now, just looking at your shadow debating. Relax, calm down, man. Just have a basic, regular conversation. You know, it's going to be okay, Peter. It's going to be all right. You understand? It's going to be okay, man. You can just have a basic conversation, man. That's it. You know? We done had a long day at work. You know, I ain't trying to go into none of that right now. I just want to have a basic conversation for the most part, man. So, Peter, you won. Listen, you won, Peter. You won. Oh, man, this guy's funny. All right, where we at? Let's get back to the comments. So we talked about the helicopter crash you brought up at Anthony Beecham. Deb said the broadcast was when he made the prophecy about them Judas ministers now. Are you talking about Wicked Went and Robinson? Yeah, somebody told me about Wicked Went. He got a YouTube channel. Well, he don't got a YouTube channel, but I think he's associated with another church or something like that. He's associated with another church, and he's up there calling himself like a prophet or something like that. Prophet Went. Yeah, you're a prophet, all right. Profit. You hear that? Wicked Went. You're a prophet. You're right. He is a prophet. Profit. That's you, Wicked Went. You know what I mean? That's you. All right? Vera says, I pray that you can help me with this matter. I'm so desperately to get in on Thursday night Zoom at headquarters, but for some reason, and that's all I see, it cuts off. Yeah, it cuts off after that. I don't see the rest of your comment. Well, all you got, I normally go to the truthofgod.com. Go to the truthofgod.com, and at the top, you can click media, and well, just hover over it with the mouse, and the second down from the first, you'll see headquarters Zoom streaming Thursday night 7:30. So go to truthofgod.com, hover over media with your mouse, and you will see the second slot, headquarters Zoom streaming Thursday night 7:30. You will see that. 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. Beg your pardon. All right, so that's the truthofgod.com. Let's see. Excuse me. What's up to Nene? Shout out to you. What's up to Paris, Roxanne, Shannon, Carmen Lopez, Bless. Somebody comment got deleted. That's a funny comment though, the one that got deleted. Oh man, it's too funny. All right. Jonas says, I've thought about skydiving in the past. Ah man, listen, help yourself with that one. Tiffany says, oh Tony, get close to nature. Okay. Sure, you're right. Paris says, beer food. You're right. What's up to Robin? Harris, shout out to you. Hope all is well. Anita Thompson says, the people that will be at the shower is not safe. What are you talking about? Shower. You said, do you think I should go? They might be drinking and smoking. I'm not sure if I shouldn't go. Shower. Did you write another comment? If so, I didn't see it. Trying to go back up. Are you talking about a baby shower? That's what you're talking about, a baby shower? I kind of had that topic in my mind at one point. Should Christians go to baby showers? I think Gino talked about it a little bit in one of his broadcasts, in reference to a baby shower. Now they got gender reveal things. Baby shower, gender reveal. Wow, what's next? What's next? You know what I mean? What more gifts do you want? How much more money do these people want having these baby showers than gender reveal? What's next? 3 month pregnant? The first month pregnant party? Shower? Before you know it, they're going to have an every month shower. But I think Gino teaches and preaches that if it's like at a wedlock, we ain't supposed to go. We ain't supposed to go. If it got liquor and stuff like that involved, we ain't supposed to go. You know what I mean? Me personally, I don't. You said it's a baby shower, she not married. Well, Gino preaches against that. Yeah, he preaches against that. What's up to her wives? Shout out to you. I don't do that neither. No. I don't fish. I go to the fish market and get mine. You know, save me a whole lot of time going to the fish market. But some people go fishing for, it's therapeutic, or that's what they love doing. Or crabbing. All right. Span says, how many people know how to use, what is that? I don't know what that is. I don't know what that emoji is at Christopher Span. My first time seeing that. You said use out, I guess you mean in the woods. More modern ways of camping. They have cabins. You don't have to sleep outside. Listen, I don't even want to be in an area where bears are at. I'm talking about close quarters. You know what I mean? I don't want to be in close quarters with no wildlife at all. Bad enough I'm delivering these areas. You understand? Stay in a cabin in the woods. You know what I mean? I'd rather be in Jamaica. You know what I mean? Or Puerto Rico or the DR. You know, around some beautiful water. Or next to some bears. Right? But some people love camping. You know, that's cool. David B says, I'm not trying to sleep outside with wild animals. You can keep that nonsense. All right? Mr. Peter Cox says, I'm not here to try and to debate. I'm just trying to set the record straight. You made it sound like that holiness was against having a firearm. That's it. Well, you didn't understand the context of what I was saying. That's what. You jumped to a conclusion. You're making a quick assumption. You understand? That's another one of your problems. Assuming or understanding the context of what a person is saying. You know what I mean? I mean, you was a reader for E.W. Tooks. You can't understand yet? Huh? You can't understand the context of what a person is saying? We just played the video the other day. What is he talking about? We just played the video the other day when we was talking about the military. We just had the conversation the other day about should Christians join the military. Wow. My uncle used to say, listen, a mind is a terrible thing to waste, man. Seriously. Seriously, man. Wow. So he wanted to make it seem like I was in error. Listen, I'm not stupid, man. You try to pull a psychological move. That don't work here. You understand? Man, oh man. Don't work here, man. You gotta try harder than that, man. You gotta try harder. You know, this is why I don't go back and forth with folks like him. You know what I mean? All day, every day. Because they use those tactics. They use it all day, every day. They have a tactic that they use. You understand? And it don't work here. All right? Here we go. D. Merriweather, shout out to you. All right? Span says, is it wrong to have a false prophets award show? A false prophet award show. That's a good one. False prophet award show. Wow. Wow. That'd be something good, like for the end of the year. You know, the wrap up. You know, the wrap up. False prophet award show. Man. He said, and the winner is. That's a good one, though. False Prophet Award Show. That'd be good for something like at the end of the year or something, you know? I think that would be funny, you know? I don't think it's, me personally, I don't think it's wrong. I think that'd be funny, you know? Have people vote. You know what I mean? It's a lot of them out there. It's a lot of them out there for sure. A lot. You know what I mean? You got Mr. Mathis and his people. They're talking about a man's teeth. Wow, what's next? I mean, they're making videos about another man's teeth. I mean, you all in his mouth. Wow. You know what I mean? It seemed like the more videos they put out, the more stuff that they say, they sound the more skittler. It's skittler. Man, it's almost like they're holding a pack of Skittles and eating it as they're making the video. Man, oh man. Listen, it's getting more wilder and wilder with these false prophets. Wow. You know what I mean? That's what we call the alphabet community. That's why we say skittler or skittles or skittling. Because if you say the other word, you will get banned. You will get banned, or your video will get taken down. Idiot. Idiot is a word. You. You. You know? That's what it is. You. You know what I mean? What you talking about? Let's go to this person's YouTube channel. Wow, you got a silly YouTube channel. This must be a kid. I told you, you got this picture of this man. It looked like he taking a dump. I told you, you. You know what I mean? You're going to say what in the world is a skittle? You. What type of idiot has a photo of a man taking a dump? It's crazy, man. I told you, man. These people is just wild. These people are wild, man. Wow, man. If it ain't the false prophets, it's folks like him or whoever that was. Where we at in the comments? Let's get to it in a bit. Let's see. As we scrolling down. What's up with Sidney Davenport, Timothy Hale? Shout out to you. Hope all is well. Shelly House says the true holiness. I ain't gonna promote his channel or that church's channel. Yeah, I'm not gonna promote you know, that wicked church channel on here. You know, but I you know, somebody told me the information on it, and you know, I checked it out. They got the comments disabled because they know the people is gonna, you know, they know the people is gonna get at him. You know what I mean? He called himself a prophet. That's crazy. Deb says the church, Robinson have a YouTube channel. Yeah, I remember Robinson having like a farming YouTube channel. He got like a farming YouTube channel. And he said, and they both support each other. Wow. Span says, no graver images for the Wicked Prophet Awards, just recognizing who they are. Absolutely. David B says, I hope that pastor is pursuing Went legally. Throw that crook in jail. That's funny. What's up to Renee Burton? Appreciate the support. Thank you. Appreciate that. God bless you and your family. I told you, man, another comment got deleted. Man, what's wrong with these folks, man? Wow. What is wrong with these folks? Crazy. All right, Tiffany said Jamaica is really the jungle. Max said you could always carry a weapon. Well, that is true, but in holiness, they only teach to carry weapons for hunting purposes. For hunting purposes. Now, it could be hard for a lot of people to come up to because, even a lot of people in holiness got firearms for protection. You understand? Folks got their Glock 19s, Glock 17s, 45s, sawed-off shotgun, rifle, ARs, Glock with the switchy. They got them. 22s, German Luger. They got them. Pocket knives, taser. Folks got them. They got them out here, man. All right, G Money says, who do you got in a singing battle between the old R&B singers R. Kelly and Charlie Wilson? Who comes out on top? Well, here's the thing. When a lot of us used to listen to that type of stuff wholeheartedly, you know what I mean? As far as with Charlie Wilson, I understand he had a deep testimony. Charlie Wilson had a deep testimony. You know what I mean? And I don't only go by the voice. I go by what the person stands for. You know what I mean? So R. Kelly, when he had the documentary, he always been that way. People were saying. He would go around his old high school, and when he got big and older, he would go around his old high school to pick up little girls. So everything that R. Kelly did, listen, is wiped out the window. You know what I mean? Listen, if I push the button on these false prophets for touching on kids, these police officers, these school teachers, all their talents, all their skills, listen, it don't matter. I'm not siding with them for no reason. No way at all. But it's been a while since I've listened to either one wholeheartedly. I know back in the day as a DJ, we used to get the record Gap Band. Popular mixtape record, Gap Band, We Can Make It All Right. And back then, as teenagers, never really used R. Kelly records to mix. So back then I would pick the Gap Band with as though Charlie Wilson was a part of. All right. Where we at? You said R. Kelly and Charlie Wilson. R. Kelly, I think he's still making music behind the jail cells too. Fleming says, how do you control your anger to avoid it escalating into a sin? Uh-oh. My anger. There's a lot of things I do therapeutically. It could be, editing videos, making videos. It could be going out for a run, going to the gym, spending time with the kids, taking them places, whatever the case may be, or just thinking about life. If you do this, you're going to blow your career, right? You know what I mean? If you hit this person, there's a strong chance that, they could be knocked out, hit their head, get unalive. You know what I mean? Because not everybody could take a punch. You know what I mean? Not everybody could take a punch. I don't care how tough you are. If you've never been punched in the face, never been punched in the nose, the eyes, kicked in the face, You understand? Put in a chokehold. If you never felt those things before, you know what I mean? You don't want to. If you never felt it, you know. So a person could be angry, go out there and punch somebody in the face who never been punched. You know what I mean? Some people's bones are soft, and you might unalive them. Some people have pushed people. A person fell and hit their head, or you could just touch a person, and if that person catch a heart attack, you're gonna be charged with what? You're gonna be charged with that. You're gonna be, So I think about a lot. I think about a whole lot. You understand? As far as like what happens if I do this. You know what I mean? How would it look? Be in the newspaper. Because they're gonna find out. They'll find out if you're on YouTube and stuff like that. In the paper, on the news. Such and such. He's going to jail for assault. It was said that he punched a guy in the face. Oh, he's a boxer. He's this, he's that. He shouldn't be out there punching people in the face. Now they try to make you out as a bad guy when you was defending yourself. Sources say he's also a part of the Truth of God with Geno Jennings. They start saying all type of bad stuff about you. Making you out the bad guy. So for the most part, I just like therapeutic things or think before I do things. Of course, there's some people out there you want to, slap in the face and give a punch and things of that nature. But you got to think. You know what I mean? Walk away. It's said you walk away a lot of the times, but of course, if you, in a situation as far as like you got to defend yourself, then hey, you got to do what you got to do. But as far as like anger, running, gym, stuff like this, anything that's therapeutic. Some people, I brought up fishing. Some people do things like fishing, crabbing, taking a walk. You know what I mean? Some people like to cook. As far as like things that's like real therapeutic. All right. What this guy talking about, T.J. Collins? What are you talking about? He said baby showers help new parents or married couples get stuff without going broke. That's not the point. Man, you can't be that stupid, man. You can't be that stupid. You focus on going broke. You know what I mean? You might be partying with devils. Yeah, they could be a married couple, but you might be going to a baby shower with a bunch of devils with liquor. You know what I mean? And some people go to the extent of having strippers there. I don't know what baby showers you talking about, Mr. T.J. Collins. He talking about get stuff without going broke. You talking to me with 5 kids. You ain't got none, to my knowledge. Going broke. Go out and work. You know what I mean? Go out and work. Me personally, I didn't need no baby shower. Me personally. For 5 of them. I'm talking about me personally didn't need them. It may have happened, but I didn't need them. And guess what? I didn't go broke. I went out and worked. You understand? Me. If I needed overtime when I was working as a, how old was I? 20 or something years, 20 young, in my early 20s. I went out and worked. Yeah, you get a couple of gifts. All right, you get a little car seat. You know, couple of dollars. Couple of dollars. I remember the first baby shower I went to, I was so dumb and ignorant. I had bought a chain for $400. That's how ignorant I was. Ignorant. I was young and dumb. You know what I mean? I think I had my watch, had my chain, had my earring, braids, expensive clothes. I wasn't broke. You know what I mean? But I was ignorant though. Spent all my work money on what? Foolishness. But I still had some money, you know, in general. But I didn't need no baby shower at the time, man. So I don't know what you're talking about. You know? Man, you brought me back to those early 20 days, man. I was real ignorant. I was real ignorant. Very ignorant at the time. Marco said there was a store owner from El Monte, California that was unalive over a box of masks for $10. He was rained over several times. Well, the stuff that people unalive people over is just stupid. I think I saw a news article where a kid got unalive over some grits. Grits? Really? Grits. Some people just do the stupidest things. Some people get unalive over cutting somebody in line at Walmart. You know what I mean? Listen, you want to cut me? Go ahead. I don't care. You know? I think somebody cut one day. Go ahead. I don't care. What do I care? You understand? I might pay for your food. Hey, I don't care. What is me getting angry at somebody cutting me in line for? I don't care. You know, you can cut, you can cut, you can cut. I'm not in a rush. Because that time that the people was cutting could be time allotted for danger ahead. You know what I mean? It could be that. You know? All right. Aaron Michael says, Tony Harvin, if it wasn't for the military and the armed forces, you would be unalive. Man, come on, man. Please don't get me started. Please don't get me started, man. I'm trying to have a nice, smooth night. I'm off tomorrow. You know, we're gonna be in the boxing gym tomorrow morning. You understand? I'm trying to save this energy. I'm trying to save this energy, man. But you said something crazy. You about to get my blood boiling. You know? Aaron Michael says, if it wasn't for the military and the armed forces, you would be unalive. No, if it wasn't for God. What's wrong with you? The armed forces. You put all your trust in the armed forces to keep you alive? Are you crazy? Wow. You trust in the military to keep you alive. Well, why don't you go sleep on an army base? That'd be much better for you or something like that. How you trust the military to keep you alive? You can't even trust yourself to keep yourself alive. The way you be talking. Take that one. Take that grand slam home run for you. Huh? Won't you lick the stamp on it into that envelope and mail it to yourself? Told you, stop it. Stop it. Please don't get me started. You know? Do not get me started. Don't do it. Man said the armed forces. You just basically say you'll be dead if the military wasn't here. What? What? Tell you, be careful. All right. Vera says, I think I read that one. Unless you copied and paste, you says, I've been trying to get into the Thursday Zoom meeting, but they've changed the meeting ID and passcode. You wouldn't happen to have the new info, would you? No. A lot of us do the same thing. Go to truthofgod.com, go to the, hover with the mouse over the media thing, hit Thursday night, 7:30. It loads up. Headquarter live stream rules. I hit agree. Service is no longer at this link. There is no service at this link. So this is on the main site. It's stating that. So I wouldn't have no information on that unless whoever does that change it themselves. You know, it says check your email for the headquarter live stream notification that is sent out each service night and click join live now button. If you are not signed up for headquarters live stream notifications, you can do so by visiting FC Audio Distribution. Okay, this is the message that came up on the First Church of our Lord Jesus Christ Zoom. All right, let's get back. It's 9:15 p.m. and let's get to some more comments. Tiffany says, what about the most diligent troller? Which is who? You said, oh, you're talking about a troll award. Trolling award. I would say Peter. I'd definitely give it to Peter. He's been trolling for 8 years. 8 years. Listen. I was hard-headed back then. I was arrogant when I first started putting out the truth of God because I wasn't in church at the time. When I came across the truth of God in 2014, I wasn't in church. You know what I mean? It's sad that 8 years, Peter, 8 years you've been trolling me and other YouTubers. But I'm speaking for myself, specifying the time frame. 8, 9 years. I've matured. You haven't? Wow. That's sad, Peter. That's sad. You know? No reply says, real men don't care about how another man looks. We care about his character. Men help men, not put them down. That's female traits. I don't know where that comment came from or who you're referring to, unless you were talking about L.C. Mathis videos. All right, Fleming says, do you think believers should have quiet time with Jesus or don't spend enough quiet time with Jesus? Well, it's a good question. It's a good question. I mean, I believe, people should, have their, time with God. You know what I mean? For the most part. I mean, even if you're at work, I mean, you could talk to the Lord in your head. You understand? You can have time with God 24/7. You understand? When you say quiet time, certain jobs give you that opportunity, like truck driving, or you do Lyft, or whatever the case may be. Any type of job that you would get as much peace as you can, or if you're just talking about you in the house by yourself, talking to the Lord. And that's often. That should be often. That should be every day. That should be every day. You understand? Every day. Every day. You know what I mean? Sometimes, listen, it's natural. It comes natural. It comes natural. Well, for me at least. It just comes natural. I could just be, around the house cleaning or whatever the case may be and just, start talking to the Lord. Having peaceful time or reading the scripture within my head, or if you give yourself some time to read a couple of verses or a chapter, or like what's that cat name? Patrick, whatever. He reads 10 chapters a day. You understand? I mean, hey, absolutely. You said enough time. Well, here's the thing. A person can spend 5 minutes with the Lord. You know what I mean? Those 5 minutes could be so valuable. You know what I mean? Than a person who spend 10 hours, but they doing it in vain. I think it runs parallel to fasting when people just fast just to be known or just to be heard. I'm fasting, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I'm fasting for a day. Yeah. That person could fast only for 2 hours, but really mean it in their heart. You know what I mean? So it's between the person and the Lord in reference to the timing and stuff like that. Because some people be like, oh, I'm spending 5 hours with the Lord. I'm spending 5 hours with the Lord. Don't call me. I'm not going to be on Facebook. I'm spending 5 hours with the Lord. Is it that serious? You know what I mean? I don't say nothing. It just comes naturally. Comes natural. Comes natural. Just hey, come out of nowhere and start talking to God. You know what I mean? Come natural. Or if I'm at work, whatever. You know, so it's all up. I believe it's all up to the, you know, the person, their relationship with God. All right. I don't know what this guy's talking about, Mr. Collins. We're gonna skip over that. Let me go back up. I might have missed some comments. What's up to A. Wooten? Shout out to you. Hope all is well. What's up to Marlon? WT Media. Shout out to you. D. Merriweather says, I nominate Brian Karn. Yep, he's another one. He is getting out of control. He needs to be stopped. Marlon says, I have a question, but I'm ashamed to ask. Listen, you can ask anything. Feel free to ask anything. I mean, hey, it's all good. Feel free to ask anything. I'm not saying I'm going to answer it, but feel free to ask anything at Marlon, for sure. All right. Okay, there you go. You did ask it. You said, I've been seeing a lot of videos on YouTube about pleasuring yourself being a sin. Does the scripture speak about this? Okay, you're talking about a person pleasuring themselves. Let's see if we can pull up a video on that. Before I started, you know, giving my own take on it or whatever. I think it's on the 3rd channel. It might be on the 3rd channel. I know I had it up there somewhere. Yeah, here it is, right? 61. I think this is it right here.
Simply acknowledge who they are. Quote unquote, being true to yourself. True to ourselves. Okay. And God is true about yourself. That's right. That's right. All right. Being true to ourselves, quote unquote, in that we have no of the opposite sex, but at the same time, they are not acting out sexually with anyone of the same sex. All right, then let me give you some knowledge. You think acting out sexually is just with the body? You look on that man, desire him. That's right. You commit the act in your heart. That's right. Amen. Or if it ain't no man around, you sitting there playing with yourself.
Oh, man. Hey, you done got me started, Marlon. You done got me started. You know? Uh-oh. You done talked about somebody playing with themselves. Marlon, you started this one. Let's run it back.
Or if it ain't no man around, you sitting there playing with yourself. So you can spill seed, and in your mind you think about a man, you old pervert. That's a pervert. That's right. That's a pervert. Yeah, you heard it first, right from the truth of God.
Oh, man. Wow.
That's right. That's right. Amen. That's right. Same thing. Amen. Amen. Same thing. It is a shame. Shame. In Ephesians chapter 5 and at verse 12. Shame. It is a shame. It's a shame. Even to speak of those things. Even to speak of those things. Which are done of them. In secret. In secret. But all things. But all things. That are reproved. That are reproved. Are made manifest by the light. Manifest by the light. Meaning made manifest by the book of direction. That's right. The book of guidance. That's right. Amen.
Now, Marlon, you asked about masturbation. Preacher man, just played him. You know what I mean? There's people on here right now that's probably struggling with that. Yeah, you right there. you right there that's looking into the camera. You right there. You. Yeah, you know, a lot of people struggling with it. You know? But I'm not going to sit here and say, because some people, how can I put this? They satisfy, they pleasured by it, so they try to question it. Listen, it's a sin, it's a sin. Simple. You know what I mean? Simple. Listen, if the scripture says, or if it's broken down or rightly divided, hey, it's a sin. You know what I mean? Listen, I can't go against the scriptures at all. I can't go against it. Because a lot of us, let me say it like this, a lot of us struggle with that. You know what I mean? A lot of us. And it's not only done physically, like you said. It could be done in your mind. You know what I mean? Some fellas, they see that fine woman over there. It's the summertime. You know, she got on a short skirt. You know what I mean? Some fellas struggle. Like, wow, ooh. You know? Wow. You know what I mean? The devil know how to hit people. You know? You women out there. You women out there, summertime come. You see some old, I don't know, Hawkamania guy or something. Whatever you want to call it. You know what I mean? Y'all minds wander too, to the women out there. You know what I mean? So, Marlon, that video is called Pastor Geno Jennings. It's titled Masturbation and Having Sex in Your Dreams. Wow. I put that out on the 3rd channel, June 28, 2023. Tony Harvin TV is up there, man. And he mentioned masturbation a little bit, in another format, but he's not talking as if it's not a sin. He's talking about it in a sense of it is sin to do. You know what I mean? All right? But a lot of people struggle with that. A lot of people struggle, whether they're doing it physically or mentally. You know what I mean? All right? Mercy Carr says mad at themselves when they come out with rude attitude towards others for no reason. Fleming says, do you think believers know the difference between talking with God rather than talking to God? Talking with God? The first time I heard a question like that. I mean, elaborate a little bit more on that one. Let me know. G-Swole says, how do you react when people are in your personal space, like you're working out on a machine in the gym and people walk by you so close and standing close to you? Well, that don't happen. That don't happen. That never happened, ever. I never experienced that. You You know what I mean? Normally in a boxing gym, you know, bags are spaced out. The only way you're close to somebody is if you're sparring them, or if you're hitting the pads, or if you're doing a workout, or whatever. You know, but you know, the gyms I went to, you know, folks have respect for each other. But I haven't, you know, been through anything like that. You know what I mean? Or you know, people got manners in the gym. Excuse me, you know, well, my fault, my bad, whatever. Or using this bag. So I never been through that at G Swole. All right. What is this guy talking about? TJ Collin. What is this guy talking about, man? He says you don't believe in defending yourself or this country, right? Man, whatever, man. Whatever. What are you talking about, man? I don't get what you're talking about at all, man. All right. The price of Adam's sin. You say. Marcia says the Holy Spirit helps with anger too. I agree. G. Swole says, but what if I unalive a person out of self-defense and fist fighting? Would I still get in trouble? It all depends. It all depends what state you in, the laws. It all depends. I don't know California laws to that. It all depends. You know, you could defend yourself in the state of Florida. You could be justified. You could defend yourself in California. You might have to fight a case, especially in California, probably. You know, when you got states like Florida, Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, you know, self-defense is a little bit more, you know, on the defending person's side. When you go to states like California, New York, New Jersey, them strict states, they want to see on camera you get punched in the face. They want to see you get socked first. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? You know? Span says, do you think the Skittles community has privilege? And are people scared to speak against what's wrong in the workspaces against a Skittle for their rude conduct? Yes, I do believe that they do have, you know, privilege. I mean, I can tell on YouTube in their guidelines, you know, basically they're saying, listen, don't talk about this community. They are a protected group here on YouTube. You know, when you read the guidelines about the community guidelines in reference to the violations, they tell you don't talk about, you know, religion, gender, sexual orientation, and all that other stuff. So they're basically covering that up as far as like, okay, I know what you're talking about. You're talking about the alphabet community. You gave them that privilege. That if I say the GAY word, or if I say the HOMO word, you know what I mean? You're going to strike my video or take it down. So that's why we got to figure out words to use like the Skittle, Starburst, Now Leaders. What else we put? Fruitcakes, you know, from Flower Town, Studs, you know, because they are a protected group, because they got that privilege here on social media, even on TikTok. Even on TikTok. And he says, are people scared to speak against what's wrong in the workspaces against a Skittle for their rude conduct? I agree. You know, blessedly, I drive trucks. I ain't got to be around that, or whatever the case may be, but I agree. You know? Where we at? So that's funny. Aaron Michael says, I will come to your city to fight you, Tony Harvin, and we can sign a paper, work to protect you. Man, get out of here, man. Get out of here, man. You understand? You hear this guy? Can somebody tell me this is a joke? You see the movie Above the Rim? Can somebody tell me this is a joke? You hear me? Because you remind me of Boogaloo off of Above the Rim right now. A joke. This man said, I would come to your city to fight. Aaron Michaels. We can sign paperwork. Wow. Get out of here, man. It's a joke. You know? Marcia says Pastor Gino had to defend himself at a gas station for preaching on marriage and divorce, you wrote. G Swole says, I feel like I'm in a situation against a person that has nothing to lose that got me feeling like he's willing to do anything to me, but that's not the first time he threatened me, so it's whatever now. Wow. That's a tough situation to be in, man. Tough situation. I mean, why go back and forth with the person? What's making you go back and forth with the person? You know what I mean? All right, what's up to Sion? Shout out to you. Aaron Michaels, you again. You said, I'm your height and weight, Tony Harvin. Let's fight. Wow. Man want to fight me. For what? Why you want to fight me for? You know what I mean? I don't listen. You want to fight me for? How you know how much I weigh? How you know how tall I am? You know what I mean? Man said I'm your height and your weight. Wow. Aaron Michaels. Christmas Span says, when Tony talks about working as a man, you feel a level of conviction. That was funny. Anita Thomas says, and the thing of it is, you said, Tony, I feel not like not going because she's not married. Oh, wow. I mean, that's what pastor teaches. Solid ground, what up? Charlotte Ann, shout out to you. Hope all is well. Oh, this guy's bugging out right now, man. This guy's bugging out. Must be off his meds again. Carmen Lopez says, not for nothing. He says, I really look young to have 5 kids. Well, one has to take care of themselves. You know, there's a lot of, you know, nonsense going on in the world. I know a lot of people turn to drugs. You know, for the most part, a lot of people who I grew up with, man, they look bad. You know, from the drugs, the stress, the stuff like that. You know, that they let beat themselves up. You know, drugs. You know, folks shooting up cocaine, they're using the e-pills and drinking lean and things like that. You know, I know people have put out myths out there. Oh, you're getting older. Oh, you're slowing down. No, that's not true. That's not true. I haven't been feeling that way. For me, it's been vice versa. If you take care of yourself, your body can. You got to expire one day, but hey, the Lord gave us tools and stuff like that. But I know a lot of us, you know, we like to go into the Popeye chicken and the soul food place. You know what I mean? Every day, all day. Or people like to use drugs. Drugs really hurts people. Drugs. Badly. Excessive drinking. Drugs. You know, stress. You know what I mean? Stress is definitely getting people, for the most part. You know? But I try not to follow the footsteps of, you know, family members. You know, uncles and cousins who have died young, heart attacks and cancer to the brain. You know what I mean? I think he was 50 years old. Cancer to the brain. 50. Why? He drank a lot. He was using cocaine or what they call a woody or smoking coke. You know what I mean? I don't want that in my life, man. Not at all. You understand? It's tough. I understand life is tough and rough. You know? But for the most part, I'm always encouraging the people to take care of themselves, man. Take care of yourself, not only physically, but mentally, emotionally, and most importantly, spiritually. Definitely got to take care of yourself spiritually. That's most important. Because I could be 90 years old. I could be in shape. I could be 90 years old, still hitting fast, strong, but I know I got to meet the Lord one day. So that's I think, it's very important, to take care of yourself spiritually also. Jesus says, I hope I have a baby out of marriage when I'm already feeling it. Wouldn't be right to have a baby shower getting a woman pregnant outside of marriage. She says, no offense. Understandable. Timothy Hale says, men don't want to work anymore. Yeah, because they got, silly women out there taking care of them. You know what? I think a lot of those type of fellas, they go to those vulnerable women who they know they can manipulate. And they just sit in a woman's house, eat up all her food, spend her welfare, her food stamps, eat up all her kids' fruit snacks. She got about 5 kids, so she's getting a nice fat income tax check. She getting some good food stamps a month. You know what I mean? He know what he doing. Yep, you're right. Drive her car. You know what I mean? Use her EBT card. So those type of fellas out there, or the ones who still sleeping on their mama's couch. Now if you're taking care of your mother at house, at home, whatever, cool, fine. Give your mother some money, you living there, fine. You know what I mean? But there are some leeches out there. A lot of leeches out there. All right? Let's see. What's up to John Smith? Shout out to you, Mello. Hope all is well. Oh man, these deleted comments. Swimmer says, I can't even participate in the discussion because some of these nuts in the chat. Yeah, this is often on the mobile. What's up to SV? Shout out to you. Span says, sleeping on an army base and not enlisted staff is diabolical. Oh man. Mello says they sent an updated link for the Tuesdays and Thursdays Zoom. Wonderful. G Swole. We got to see how much time we got left before we knock off. We've been on for about an hour and 13 minutes. Let's see how much time we got. Out there. Let's see, we got deleted. Jesus says, how does a man strive for holding his post to react to a woman constantly staring at him like she's interested in him? I mean, if you feel a woman is, I think if you feel a woman is interested in you, then hey, go talk to her. You know what I'm saying? Go talk to her. You never know. She might be in holiness. You never know. She might listen to, the truth of God or interested. You never know. You never know till you ask a person. She could be in her beginning stages of holiness. All right. Aaron Michaels says, yes, I've been drinking. Tony Harvin disrespected yesterday. So what? What are you crying for? You pouting and whining for? What's wrong with you? You know what I mean? You holding something from yesterday. I didn't forgot. You still holding on to something from yesterday? You know what I mean? Shout out to the people who know me off of YouTube, because the ones who know me, they know I'm going to keep poking at the bear. I'm going to antagonize you even more. You understand? Yesterday, I'm sitting there working all day. I ain't eat nothing until I got home about 7 o'clock. I'm focusing on getting something to eat all day. And you worried about yesterday? Somebody disrespecting you over YouTube? Wow. Before I ate at 7 p.m., I ain't eat since yesterday at 7 p.m., I think. And you worried about YouTube? I wasn't worried about YouTube. I worried about trying to find something to eat. What's wrong with you? Over YouTube. If you feel disrespected, then so what? I don't care. Well, I'm supposed to feel sorry for you? Hold your hand? Huh? You know what I mean? If you don't like tough love advice, so what? You know? When I used to coach my youngest son and yelling at him, keep running. And he fall on the ground, get your behind up and keep running around that track field. Crying. He crying. He crying because he's tired. Get up and keep running. You think I'm going to feel sorry for you? No. Get yourself up and stop feeling sorry for yourself. You know what I mean? Appreciate your life that you have, number one. Stop coming on the internet wanting people to feel sorry for you. You know? If you find that disrespectful, I don't care. You know what I mean? If you're drinking alcohol, which makes you more madder, guess what? I don't care. You know? If you're looking at me right now, Aaron Michaels, guess what? I don't care. You know? All right? Patriot 76. You says, hey, brother, I got an off. He says, I got an offshore oil rig gig open if you're interested. Nope, I'm not. No. You're going to offer me a job over the internet? Really? Is that a legit way to offer a job? You say an entry-level position starting at $45 an hour, housing and meals included for the duration of the 6-month contract. 6 months contract? So after the 6 months, where am I work? Come on, Patriot 76. Contract. What? $45 an hour? Man. Contract? It's all good at Fleming's. He said, I can't ask you questions, participate because I got to keep my eyes on camera. That's funny. Wow. Anita Thompson says, have you seen that large bridge the Chinese are building? My question, will you cross that bridge? Let me look it up right now. Chinese bridge. Which one? Oh, okay, I think this is it right here. Is it 15 miles? Is it 15 miles? Because I think it's a bridge from Delaware to Virginia that's, kind of similar, if that's the one I'm looking at. It's just like a bridge over just nothing but water. Let me know the name of the bridge. All right. SV says, how do you feel about Boots Innings? Boots from Philly. Shout out to the Philly fighters, man. Ennis, Boots Ennis, Danny Garcia, Stephen Felton, Tevin Farmer, Bernard Hopkins, Demetrius Hopkins. It's a lot of good fighters out of Philadelphia. You know? Boots is good. I'm not gonna lie. He got the skills, he got the talent, he got the work ethics. You know, his father and his brothers, you know, they gave him good knowledge, and he stayed focused. You know what I mean? He stayed in the gym, and he stayed away from negativity and whatnot, and he's doing his thing. And just a matter of time before he get his opportunity at, you know, a big name. You know, I think a lot of people are ducking him for the most part, but you know, we'll see. You know, he was a good amateur fighter. Of course, you know, one of the Russell brothers, you know, beat him twice in the amateurs. Beg your pardon, 3 times. One of the Russell brothers, you know, beat him. He fought Richard Hitchens, amateurs, also. Anybody who know about him, right? So that's what I think about Boots. He also fought Jermaine Ortiz in the amateurs. Thank you for that info, bro. Was asking that same question about, question myself about the live stream. No problem. You're welcome. Appreciate that. I think we'll give it about maybe 10 more minutes. 5 or 10 more minutes, then we're gonna knock off. 5 or 10 more minutes. SV says Patrick T reads 10 chapters a day and misunderstands all of them. Oh man, that's hilarious. Patrick T. Wow. All right. Let me see some more of these comments. What's up to Corinda? Shout out to you. Roger Davis. What's up to D. James? Shout out to you. Hope all is well at D. James. Just going through the comments right quick. Jonas says, drinking. You're referring to Aaron Michaels. He's drinking. He wants to die. Wants to fight Tony randomly. Just bad. You're right. You're right. You want to fight me for? You know what I mean? I think you need to let that alcohol wear off you for a bit. You want to think about that. You understand? I think you want to think about that. All right, Jesus Forward says, because that person is my little brother over something so ignorant on his part, but I did my best to not give in to my anger, sending him messages involving God, then I blocked him. Oh, yeah, man. Hey, man, just don't even feed into none of that stuff, man. You know, it is what it is, man. Of course, you got to forgive him for that, for whatever. You know, apologize for whatever. You understand? Simple as that. You know, I mean, I had a situation with a cousin years ago, 2012. I wanted to beat him up. You understand? But I apologized and forgave him, and that was it. You know, didn't talk to him after that. It is what it is. You know? Here we go. I see we got a few deleted comments. I'm just scroll all the way down. Right quick. What's up with Frozen Mountain? Shout out to you. Hope all is well. D. James, I remember I quit after one session with you. You never saw me again. Well, training, you know, working out, it could be hard for a lot of people, you know. I mean, it's not an overnight thing. It takes a while to really get your body in the of working out, for the most part. You know what I mean? And you know, I tend to think people can be like me out there, but I have to learn that just how I started off. It could be is worse for a lot of people when they first starting off working out. And I like to work out in the heat. You understand? With nothing to drink. To have that mindset. It may sound crazy or whatever the case may be, but this is what I'm used to working out. But for the most part, if a person keep up with working out or whatever they can handle, it'll all work, for the best in the long run. You know what I mean? Whether, some people power walk, and there's been a few people who train with me, whether it was family members or friends. They think is easy, But sometimes, I can push a person to, the limits to quitting, but it's all for them to better themselves. I mean, I want to see people better themselves, whether it's physically, spiritually, emotionally, and mentally when we out there working out, for the most part. But working out for me is therapeutic, and whatnot, and to me right now is a way of life. So yeah, a person, they might quit the first time working out with me. All right. Let's see where we at. Marlon says, what did you think of Marlon Sapp asking the church for money and telling them to close the doors? Well, I think he's a fool. He reminds me of those other prosperity preachers. Asking for money for what reason? Not that I care about it, whatever the case may be. But you just like the Austins, you just like the Creflo Dollars out there. That's crazy. All right, SB said there's a preacher named Pastor Philip Mitchell. He has a viral video where he asks all the men and women of the congregation to empty their pockets and to give it to a single mom. Have you seen it? No, it's my first time hearing about it. I don't know what I would think about that. Because if she needed money, I don't think that's the way to do it. But I think a lot of them are, clout seekers. They seeking attention. They're taking it a level up. What is this cat name? Mike Todd. You know what I mean? They're doing things to go viral. They want to go viral. They want their church to be out there. They don't care how they go viral. You understand? Empty your pockets out for the single mother. Well, why didn't you give all your savings account to the single mother if that's the case? Preacher man? Marcia says he never said what it was for, and he was cocky, Mama Sapp. I didn't know Mama Sapp was a preacher until I heard that story. All right. Let me see where we at. All right, so we're about to wrap this thing up. If I didn't get to your comments, please forgive me. Please forgive me if I didn't get to your comments. Lord willing, we'll be on tomorrow. For the most part, if you got any last closing remarks, feel free to leave it in the chat room. For the most part, it was a good conversation in reference to questions and answers and whatnot. It's all good at Carmen Lopez, forgiven. What's up, the prodigal son? He said it's the liquor talking. Roger Davis says alcohol and boxing don't mix well. You got that right. It sure don't. What's up to Jules Hernandez? Shout out to you. What's up to John Smith? Hope all is well. Okay, Jules said, but make sure you are able to sustain her off your own paycheck before you holler at her. You're talking to G Swole. Wow. Paycheck. Shelly House is 35 and still at home and waiting on their parents to expire so they can collect the insurance. Wow. What's up to Albert Fuller? Shout out to you. Hope all is well, man. Just now seeing your comment. Albert Fuller. Shout out to you. What's up to Donald Sanders? Shout out to you. SV says Mike Todd was pouring syrup on the Bible. Yeah, he's a fool. He is a fool. Marlon says blame it on the alcohol. Oh man. Appreciate that, Marcia. Shout out to you. All right. I hope everybody have a wonderful night, wonderful sleep. It was a good conversation. Definitely appreciate y'all. God bless. I'm Tony Harvin of the Tony Harvin Network YouTube channel.